And welcome to Threats from Mirkwood. I am your lore master, Garrett. With me is...
Thror, playing the dwarf of Erebor.
Padme's lover, A.K. Mike, playing Ella Brimborn, your elf of Mirkwood.
And I am Eric, and I am playing your Barding of Dale, Sigurd, son of Sigmund.
And Aging Ophelia as Lorith the Ranger.
Cool. So as we left off last time, Radagast recruited you to go on a mission to see how bad things were in the south of the forest. So you took a field trip down to the place that nobody wants to go, Dol Guldur. Dun dun dun. What were your first impressions, guys, about Dol Guldur?
I'm depressed.
Well, it's a crap place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah, very, very hauntingly beautiful, but deadly and full of the shadow. So,
How much... I was not here last session, as people may or may not remember. How much have we seen of Dol Guldur?
we have just gone up like the stairway of the necromancer and have encountered a lot of kind of traps and pitfalls and stuff on the way up there. So we had killed a couple series of orcs, orc battalions and stuff getting in here, but we're finally like into the actual ruins of Guldur, or whatever. I can't even say it. It's not. We don't say it in the Elven Kingdom. We don't like to say it's a dirty word.
Yeah.
So.
I'd say we've seen enough to know that it might have been a mistake to take this on, but now it's tough because we're right here.
Yeah, Bard of the Wild.
I'd say we've seen enough to have our hearts darkened with shadow.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah, Ella Brimborn took 3 points of shadow last session, like boom, 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 right away. So
Oh.
Nasty.
not looking good.
Yeah.
As I look into the Dol Guldur, inner gate, moat house, dead moat, the inner courtyard, the high keep. The Stairs of Woe is what we're talking about, Sigurd. And you're going to get to play this game too because it's so much fun. These stairs lead to the Hall of the Necromancer, climbing up, carved out of the stone. And only those who've gone up there is the White Council, trusted servants of Sauron, and those prisoners who Sauron chose to personally doom. Every step is wound around with spells of terror. For every step, you endure a lifetime of pain and suffering. Sigurd, I need you to make 3 tests of either wisdom and or valor.
Oh. Let's see. Okay, my wisdom is 3. I, as a bard, as a barding, I'm stout-hearted, meaning I have better checks against fear. Is this a fear check? It's probably a shadow check, right?
It's a shadow check.
Okay. I will use my wisdom of 3. 3 times. Huh. I rolled really well, except for the Sauron.
Ooh, Eye of Sauron, you gain 3 points of shadow.
Jesus.
Right off the bat. As you are in the middle of the climb up the stairs. Make another roll.
Okay. Oh, that's a really good roll. 27.
You are keeping your heart strong as you pass in. You hear in your heart the screams of all those that Sauron personally dealt with. One more time.
Okay. And that is good too. That is an 18.
18. 3 more points of shadow, unless you want to spend a point of hope.
I'll spend a point of hope.
Okay.
Can't spend a
Do you want to spend a group one, or do you want to spend a personal one?
Group's fine.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll spend a group.
You
I'll
spend a group
Yeah,
one?
spend
So describe how your companions help you avoid falling further into darkness and shadow.
Okay. Well, as I mount the stair, I feel the weight of the shadow crushing down on me, as I can almost feel the eye on me, the lidless eye, and so I get 3 points of shadow.
Mm-hmm.
But then as I trudge slowly up the stairs, my companions can see that I'm hunched over with an almost physical weight. And Thor looks over and he elbows me in the ribs and is like, "You'll be all right." And Celebrimbor says, he gives me just a short rhyme that lifts my spirits. And Lorith looks over, and I look back, and I'm like, if I'm with a ranger as tough as Lorith, I should be okay.
Excellent. You reach the Tower of Spells. From this tower, the necromancer wrought his sorcery. Only Sauron ever entered this tower, and no one knows what lies inside. At times in the past, unearthly lights glowed from within, and the night air carried strange, fell voices that spoke in no tongue known in Middle-earth or across the sea. Some whisper that Sauron called forth beings from beyond the doors of night and summoned things unknown. And we pick up as you stand outside the Tower of Sorcery. What do you do?
Did we really?
Is there a doorbell?
There is no doorbell. There is a gargoyle and with a knocker.
Gargoyle and a knocker.
What about?
I look towards Radagast and ask, can you give us guidance on how to best proceed?
What's your plan, wizard?
We must go through carefully. We must search. We must explore what we are finding. But it is this group, you as a group, that is going to depend on your sanity and your ability to handle what we find in here. And what that means is you can only take so many actions inside of this tower equal to your valor before you start suffering, getting points of shadow for attempting more actions.
My valor only has 2
You can only do 2 actions
inside this tower
before you start gaining shadow points
So
for doing more.
walking doesn't count as an action.
Walking is not an action. I'm talking about dice rolling.
Okay.
Okay.
You mean like perception?
Talking about perceptions, talking about searches, exploring.
So we have to plan out who does what.
Yeah, it's not one of
carefully.
those where everybody wants to roll all the time, because then you're going to quickly hose yourselves.
Can I evoke my trait of shadow lore as to the best way to approach this as far as opening the door?
Push.
All right. All right, so Celebrimbor
And
pushes
have
the door
and have Radagast ready in case something chooses to come out.
So I would ask Radagast, have you ventured through these doors in the past?
With the White Council, but not since then.
Can you give us guidance as to what we should be more prudent with in our actions versus potentially what we would we should be...
We need to search for evidence about corruption in Middle-earth. I am worried about the races falling under the sway of the shadow. And this would be a place where those that are betraying their own kind would congregate.
So as we search, what would be... would there be specific areas behind these doors that would be a direction you would point us to, or?
Well, we're looking for.
I will lead the way, and you keep your eyes open.
All right, very good.
He pushes it open. It opens into a astronomically high chamber. It makes you feel like you're in Isengard, only more so. It feels like you're standing at the inside of infinity, a tower of infinity, of dark stone that rises up and all the way out into where you can't see. And you feel like at any second gravity might give way and you might be falling upward. There are collapsed statues around and huge spider webs gathered all about this place. Collapsed candelabras. Robed humanoids. As well as some gargoyles. Also, you see in here a corpse of an orc curled up in a corner. The brute seemed to have been stabbed with a knife and crawled off to die. The blade is still stuck between the orc's ribs and is of elven make. It seems to have been forged in the woodland realm. Anybody want to investigate?
Yeah, Ella Brimborn will look at it and see if he can recognize any language or anything.
Or the knife. You might know
about the knife.
Yeah. Can I...
To tell what kingdom it might be from, or who might possess it.
It was from the woodland realm, so make a hunting roll to study the knife.
Garrett, I have the lore of Arnor. Who built Dol Guldur? It was originally one of our outposts.
12.
Yes?
Mm-hmm. It was an elven...
No. Not elven.
12.
You can't really tell about who would have that, but what you do, Dol Guldur was established by Sauron after his return to Middle-earth, sometime after Third Age 1000.
Could I use? Is it a famous enough blade that I could use
in the
lore
capital
or
of
something on
Sylvan Roar?
So it wasn't something of ours that he turned.
I have the trait of old lore. Will that help at all?
Old lore? Not really, because it's not that old.
Okay.
What you do get is that the body was killed recently, despite the proximity to the marshes. So the body doesn't seem to be horribly as corrupted and defiled by the mosquitoes and the rats and all the creatures of the basilisks and other creatures of the swamp. This is a fairly fresh kill.
When you say fresh, what do you mean?
Can we...
Within a couple weeks. Within the month.
Can I tell where the orc might be from using shadow lore? Like, what tribe he might be from, or...
Sure.
Is he, is he from the Misty Mountains, or is he like a lowland, or whatever kind of thing?
Like he's got a white hand on him?
I asked Radagast, Radagast, do you think this is worthy of our attention, or should we continue onward?
I think everything is worthy of our attention. Everything is... This is piece of a puzzle that we're looking at here.
Okay.
It is a orc from the north.
Okay. I do have orc lore, if that helps.
Orc from the north.
Okay.
Someone should take the knife. cleanse it, surely.
Leading out of here, you find a heavy iron door deep within the keep. It's open.
I'll grab the knife from the orc. I wouldn't waste a knife on this orc. I'll go ahead and pull it out.
Good.
All right.
Make a someone make a riddle roll.
Does anybody have
Riddle.
a good riddle? I have,
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
I have 2, that's all.
yeah, I got.
That's what I got.
Yeah. Well, what's your valor?
Anybody's favorite?
Yeah, I only have 2, so I'm
4.
gonna budget
Yeah.
these really well.
I have 2, and my search isn't that good. Why don't you let me roll riddle on this?
My search is 3, so I've got a pretty good search.
I will roll riddle on this knife. I have rolled 15.
Well, it's riddle on the door. You see that the lock on this heavy iron door was picked only a short while ago. Well, at some point long before that, some mighty brute smashed at the door with a huge axe. The deep scars in the iron-shod frame bear testament to that. The door opens. Radagast pushes and goes.
All right, I knock an arrow.
You feel like it's breathing at this tower is breathing at you. You feel gust after gust of breath coming from down the corridor of sulfurous air.
I'm gonna tear a piece off my cloak and tie it around my mouth and nose.
Is it dark in here? Do we need to strike up fire?
It is dark in here, as can be in here.
And I will use my fire making to strike up a torch.
Yep.
Does someone want to carry the torch? Since I've got my mattock, I want to keep both my hands weapon ready.
I'll carry it.
Thank you, Lorth.
In the labyrinth of abandoned corridors and cells beyond the iron door, you find several scattered parchments. It's clear that this was once a library, and it was hastily abandoned.
Let's take a look. Let's take a gander through
Take a look at
some
the
of these
friends.
parchments.
The one that you pick up speaks of scouting missions into the Vales of the Anduin.
By whom? Does it say by whom?
It does not.
Scouting missions into the Vale of the Anduin.
What
Can
is
I,
the writing on the, in what language is the writing?
In common.
Common.
Anybody else want to look?
Yeah, I'll search through some parchments.
You find an up-to-date description of the military forces of Lake Town.
Ooh.
None of this sounds good.
Radagast, anybody else want to look at some of this?
I'll look around.
I show the parchment to everyone.
Doubt-
Yeah,
I doubt
Elebrimworm
we'll
will look.
look around.
You find one written that you have a hard time reading. It's... Do you have Shadow Lore?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is written in the Black Tongue. And Radagast pops up beside you and goes, "It's best not to read these."
Okay.
Read it. Oh, not read it out loud or in your mind.
Not at all.
Not at all, the black speech.
And
Then I tuck it. I grab it and tuck it in my clothes. Maybe we can read it when we're outside the tower.
I'll take the whatever parchments I pick up as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a door off to the side where it looks like some tables have been set up and some chairs. They look very moldy, but they're still standing.
Yard sale gone bad.
Kind of.
All right, I go over and look at the table and chairs and see if there's been like dust disturbed on the table or on the chairs, or the chairs have been dragged through dust like they've recently been moved.
There is, make an awareness roll.
20 with a Tengu.
It is disturbed, the dust on the table and the chair, and you see footprints leading into the other room. You see several sets of footprints and footprints coming out of the room.
Are they the same footprints or different?
Different.
Human, orc?
With your shadow lore, you can recognize a set of footprints that going in and out that are orcish.
All right. So we all, we are obviously telling all each other what's going on.
Yeah.
So that it's fresh, so they're probably around here, and they don't seem to connect with the orc that was dead out in the other area. Then, right?
No, it looks like the footprints leading out were leading out toward where you found that orc.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
All right. Do you guys want to go through the next door?
I think we should.
And there's a really bad smell coming from through that door.
Oh.
Anything we recognize?
You
We're
see
familiar with
a
dead
fellow
bodies
from
and
Lake Town by his garb. His cloak is caked with dried mud and blood. His stiff fingers press against a gaping wound in his side that seems to have been made by a jagged orc sword that lies beside him.
He's a traitor. There's no other reason for him to be here.
And this is a dead body, right?
This is a dead body.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is this anyone from Lake Town that we would recognize? I would use my trading skill if he's some form of trader or trader, not tritor.
You do not recognize him.
Okay. I search his body, looking for clues of who he is, or...
You find a pouch of lozenge-shaped silver pennies, coins minted in the woodland realm, usually employed to deal with foreigners. There are 60 coins worth 3 points of treasure.
Nice.
This one was most likely a traitor.
If only we had a penny for his thoughts.
Yeah.
So...
You can make an awareness check to look for more clues.
Okay.
I'm thinking that his thoughts were that he would make a lot more treasure selling out his people than
I'll try an awareness
who
test.
knows what kind of argument he had with the orc yonder.
Okay.
I'll look
Gandalf,
around, but I'm not doing
and
anything
so a Gandalf with a Tengu.
A giant spider climbs out of a grating in the floor next to where the hand is lying of the dead Lake Townman.
See, that took a lot of awareness.
And it seems to be something down inside that grate.
Okay. I point to the grate.
It's swarthing with cockroaches down in there over what looks like pieces of scroll.
Okay.
You don't mean a giant spider, you mean a big spider.
The bugs
A big spider.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
I thought you meant a giant
No.
spider. When you're in Tolkien's world and you say giant spider, it means one thing, okay?
That's what I thought. I thought it was going to talk to us. So
No.
Yeah. Crap.
I was waiting for it to speak. So.
Yeah.
I misspoke.
Thank you. Alright.
What do you do?
Peer into the grate. I'll hold the
Thor said he was going to light a
torch over.
torch and try to scatter the bugs.
I have the
I would
torch.
just try and use the torch to try and scare the bugs away from the parchment, but I don't want to light up the parchment.
Okay, you scare away some of the bugs.
And then I'll grab hold of the parchment and pull it out.
It is... The pages are written in the common speech, and they describe the woodland realm in considerable detail. They mention the guards along the Elf Path and Forest River, the East Gate, and the defenses of Thranduil's halls.
I think we do.
Whoever gave this information to the enemy clearly had an intimate knowledge of the woodland realm.
Oh, we have to take it back with us as evidence.
I pass it around to everyone so they can view it for themselves, and I have a very concerning look at this point in time.
Ella Brimborn, you have to take this.
Yeah,
to show
I
the
do
king.
I take it. I'll give it to King Thranduil and make him aware. So this is like that. This is like the evil Fellowship of the Ring, like the Hellowship of the Ring. Hello Kitty.
Radagast, seeing this, says, "I think we found what we have come here for. This proves that there is a traitor in Thranduil's halls. I'd hoped the Woodland Realm would continue to be a bastion against the corruption of Mirkwood, for the elves have never willingly served the enemy. But it seems that even this hope is lost."
Do we need to continue searching for more evidence as to who this traitor may be?
Yes, but I don't think we'll find it here.
Well, we have his knife, possibly.
Okay. If Radagast says we can go, I'm all in.
Yeah, me too.
Serious.
My heart is very darkened by this place.
I don't get the connection between a man of Lake Town with an elven trader, though.
So, in a couple of our episodes ago, we were confronted with the men of Lake Town invading on the woodland realm of Thranduil.
Oh, okay.
And taking out some of the forests there. I'm wondering if there's a bigger plot in the works with those activities of the men of Lake Town trying to gain a bigger foothold in Thranduil's kingdom. And
Right.
maybe they are looking towards some, I guess, nefarious partnership with someone to help make that happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, it need not be.
you know, I'm grasping at straws here.
It
Yeah,
need not
yeah.
be somebody that lives in the realm, but only Thranduil would know, or perhaps only he will know if it truly, if this information could be gotten by somebody else.
Right.
So I wanna look at the dead man from Lake Town and invoke elven lore and see if I could tell that it was an elf that stabbed the man from Lake Town with an orcish sword, and ask Thror to look and see if he thought it would be kind of a stab wound that an orc might have made, so we can figure out maybe whether the race was, or there was a double cross, or kind of try to figure out, you know, whether this was possibly an elven assassin or an orcish attack on this man of Lake Town.
Well, I have a feeling I could probably look.
I don't know if we can do that, but
Know who
Well, I've got orc
With
lore.
with the shadow lore, it looks like that the blade. It looks like that they stabbed each other, the orc and the Lake Town man, and the orc kind of crawled out toward the lobby area to die.
okay.
So
So
dagger,
the elf is still alive then, potentially, or we don't know.
the elven dagger that we recovered is probably the key. Maybe we can find the owner of the dagger and there go find who is the traitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The orc killed the man, and then the elf killed the orc.
So
the traitor made.
I will pass the dagger to you, Ella Brimborn, so that it is safer in your hands than mine. I don't want to taint or present the evidence being a dwarf versus yourself being one from Mirkwood.
Perhaps this Lake Town man, is the sole traitor. Perhaps he got the knife as a gift after good service. There's no better way to gain insight into the realm than to be high in the king's trust and favor. Even if you're an outsider, this could happen, couldn't it?
That's true.
Yeah, it's a good point as well.
He may be the only traitor we're looking for in this.
But the Elven document seems to make us think that there's actually a traitor within the Elven kingdom that provided all that Elven information. So there's got to be an Elven traitor too.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps
And it could be
this.
This is just
This
dagger may not be the one. This dagger may be someone else's that was stolen as well. So we'll have to be careful of our accusations when we go back to Mirkwood.
Yeah.
So shall we depart quickly?
Yes.
It would be great.
Why do you want to depart quickly?
I don't mind starting a big fire if you would like. Will keep us warm as we depart.
As you head on out, you climb down the stairs again. You don't have to make those rolls.
Wait a minute. Did anybody take some of the money from that was?
Yeah, I got the
yeah.
pennies, the silver pennies. Yeah.
You find inside the inner courtyard was once the garden of the Elven King. 12 dead Malorn trees stand here in a circle, leafless and skeletal. 6 statues were raised among them, 2 near the entrance, 2 at the door leading to the High Keep, 2 at the Stairs of Woe. Each statue depicts a strange bird-headed figure seated on a hideous throne. Their jeweled eyes glitter as they watch for intruders. Make a valor test as you pass through.
I forget how we do that.
Valor is a side.
No. Yeah. So
Roll your
number of
d12
dice.
plus the number of d6 is equal to your valor.
Okay.
So I got a 26.
You find the strength to pass on through there.
I got 7.
You lock up, frozen in terror by those creatures.
But I have strength of will.
And so that you can dig down into that strength of will to pull yourself through.
I got a 14.
14, you lock up in terror.
Oh, is this a fear check?
No, it's not necessarily a fear test. Yeah, it is a fear test.
Okay.
No, it is.
Let me
What
see
about,
if I get better than a 14. Oh, no, I do not.
Valor test.
Valor test.
We don't have any cards in this one, do we?
No.
23.
You find the strength of will to proceed through this the courtyard with the dead Malorn trees and the skeletal statues.
So I will
Oh, that's what shit.
take hold of Sigurd and help him out.
How do you help him out?
I will pick him up and carry him if he is unwilling to come with me with a little extra push.
Make an athletics roll.
All right. 2. Oh, bummer. That is a big 8. I can...
You aren't having a hard time carrying Sigurd.
Do you need some
if a
help?
14 will go, I will use a point of hope.
14 will do it, yeah.
Okay, then
You
I'll
want to use
a
it
point.
from the groups thing, or...
Yeah, I'll use it from
Yeah.
the group if they're okay.
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And or I can help you too.
We probably need to restate who our
Yes, who your state, who
fellowship.
your fellowship focus is.
right. So I will go with Radagast if I can. Or no, I have to do somebody
No,
in the party.
someone in
right?
the company.
Okay. Then I'll do Sigurd since
And
he is
I'll do Thor.
new
You'll
to the
do
party.
Thor, Lorith? Celebrimbor?
I'll do Lorith then.
Yep.
And I will continue with
You
Thor
wish.
as my fellowship guy.
As you pass, you see grates that lead down into dungeons. Before the necromancer came, the Elven King built wine cellars and treasure vaults beneath his hall. But under Sauron's direction, the underground chambers of Dol Guldur were extended 100-fold. There is more beneath the hill than above it. Endless orc warrens, dungeons where thousands of prisoners suffered, storerooms and barracks, foundries, charnel pits, torture rooms, secret passages, hidden chambers. The dungeons run under the sodden moat and out into the surrounding swamps, so they are extremely damp and fetid.
Yeah.
Others are choked with luminescent mushrooms that spit poisonous spores.
I look for a wooden bucket with a long metal chain in it.
You find one?
I'm tempting to kick it over into the depths, but
Into a well.
I'll pass.
You seem to hear a scream coming down from somewhere far down beneath beneath Dol Guldur.
Of course we do. Is it a human scream or a orcish scream?
It's hard to tell. It's echoing over and over from
Does everyone
some
hear
distance. Everybody hears it.
It
I
could be a wraith.
I look to Radagast and go, do you think it's something we need to investigate, or should we?
I think it's time that we leave.
Yeah, I think it could be a wraith or a werewolf or.
Yes. You are my patron. I will follow your advice.
It's a soul eater.
I want to take that rabbit sled out of here.
Actually, Radagast at one point in time, Garrett had spoken with me about a Nazgul ruby that had a history with my toe ring.
Right.
And, actually, while we're traveling at times, if I can pepper him with additional questions, I would like to do so.
Sure.
But not at this moment, but when we get farther from Dol Guldur.
You cross back. How are you going to cross through the swamps, or are you going to go back across the bridge to Fenbridge?
Fenbridge.
Yeah, bridge.
Since we've already cleared out all the orcs, we'll head back that way.
Oh, yeah.
You return to Fenbridge, where there is you see rats and spiders beginning to consume the orcs that you slew over there.
Good, it'll keep them busy.
And did we take the time to search for treasure? I couldn't remember.
No, you
I
didn't.
don't think so.
Too late now.
It's not too late, sure.
Okay, if you wanna risk your hands with rats, you be my guest. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a drink.
You got torches.
Yeah, if we can scare the rats off, that's fine. And or I remember off to the right as we crossed over that pit, there were some orcs hidden back in there. I was wondering if we should take a quick look to see if they had any treasure hidden in there. Sorry, it's my dwarfishness.
Fine with me. I can always speak to the rats too and ask them. We just want the shiny objects. They can eat all the carcass when we're gone. Okay. So
yeah.
The rats don't seem to mind you at all. They almost, in a rat way, kind of shrug you off. And they continue their gnawing and gnawing, which seems to echo throughout this chamber.
Disgusting.
So do we happen upon any treasure of any form?
Where are you going?
Again, when we crossed the bridge there off to the right, I remember that several of the orcs had come off from the right.
From up here?
Yeah, from up there.
So you're going to go up there?
Yeah, I'll go up there.
Okay. You go up to there. The door opens.
Mm-hmm.
You see another area with a dip where the floor is fallen down into the mud, and there's another door opposite you.
Okay.
To the over to here is another deep pit with a giant winged gargoyle, everything very similar to what you saw in the courtyard of Dol Guldur.
Mm-hmm.
This disturbed me.
I'll try out around the gargoyle here.
Look for pitfalls.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of these pits here? Like, why are there
searching
pits?
for traps or?
Because this is the Monty Python castle made real of building a castle in the swamp, and it keeps falling into the swamp.
Okay.
So this is a swamp rising to consume the castle after ages of disuse.
Gotcha.
So I'm looking for any traps that we might encounter here, as I also search for clues of any hidden treasure. Using my orc lore knowledge for the common treasure hiding habits of orcs.
Now that we're out of that area, we can do more than one.
Yeah, you're out of there.
Well, I'll search for traps as well with my awareness.
Sure.
Can you pick up my
So I got a 17 with a Tengu for awareness.
17. Okay. You are not finding any traps in this room. This seems to be some kind of antechamber.
20 with 2 Tengus.
Okay. And I'll make my way around, and I'm going to search for any signs of treasure.
Ah!
Not that big.
Gee.
That's huge.
That was a big spider.
24.
You are aware of a whole lot of spiders emerging from around a corner and from the webs.
They're just
We're
like the
talking
little
about
tiny ones,
intercops
though, that we
coming
saw.
at you.
I'll,
Big ones?
Yes.
strike up
Okay.
a torch
Big as a dog.
and blow them out of there.
There seem to be quite a few very large spiders.
Large, but not giant.
Well, they're as big as a dog. That's big enough.
Oh, that big? Dog-sized.
I don't
They
know.
only-
Chihuahuas.
They only eat dwarves and hobbits that I know of.
So is that where I'm standing off here, or back across behind Radagast, or the large spider?
No, yeah, you're here, but they're over.
They're over here.
Okay, so the spiders weren't by the gargoyle. where
They
I
weren't
was
by the
standing.
gargoyle.
Yeah.
They were the other direction. They're emerging out from
alright.
this hallway.
We finally
that
chose the
torch,
right
so-
direction to
But-
go.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, all right. Did my search show me any hidden treasure around the gargoyle though?
You did not.
Before okay. I just wanted to finish that room so I didn't have to go back there later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The spiders
Alright.
are emerging. They make a leap at Radagast. Try to sting him.
Any chance to do a battle roll, or is it surprise?
It's surprise.
Well, we have a torch, and they probably don't like fire.
They like cold steel even less.
And
They
stinging
wrote a
arrow.
sign to Gandalf, so they are not going to be getting. They do not get Gandalf, as Radagast produces from his pocket some herbs that he flingers into a dust that irritates the spider and makes them break out with pustules all over the place.
Nice.
One spider will do its great leap and end up on the other side of Lorith.
I don't think spiders actually care if they get acne.
Yeah, but it annoyed him.
They're very vain.
Well, they're that.
It did the great leap and it will try to seize you.
Can I parry?
Let me see how this works.
Got a lot of eyes. He can seize you all over the
It
place.
will go with ensnare.
Right.
Make an ensnare roll. It rolled an Eye of Sauron, auto success. So you are ensnared within webbing right
I'm
now.
the one holding the torch.
You were the one holding the torch. It hits the floor.
I had lit a second torch over by the
Well, that's
gargoyle,
good.
though. So
And
Just
these
that
guys do their great leap to go all the way across the to here. And this one will stay and fight Radagast.
So I can't parry to try and get out.
You can try on your turn to cut yourself out.
Yeah.
So, how do you want to go into stances?
I don't think I get much choice of my stance. I'm in a web.
Yes, you do.
I'll do defensive.
Yeah, Celeborn Moore would do defensive with his sword, pull his sword.
Well, I'm going crazy apeshit. I don't like webs.
Oh, hooray! There's me.
So,
I will
Brynmorm's
go. Are any of them facing off against me? None of them are, right?
Not at this point.
Sweet. Then I'll go forward.
You go forward.
Me too.
Because what do you have to lose?
Except for my life.
Thor, what are you going as?
I'm defensive.
You're defensive? Okay. Sigurd, you're first.
Okay. I will. There's two of them attacking Lorith. Is that what's going on?
Two of them attacking Radagast, one attacking Lorith.
Okay. I will attack one that is attacking Radagast because I don't think I can get to the one who's attacking Lorith. Oh, that's a bad roll. 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. You need a 6 plus your it's parry, which does not hit. You want to spend a point of hope?
Should I spend a, how tough do we think these spiders are, guys?
I wouldn't spend a point of hope, but
Okay, yeah.
kind of
then-
metagaming, but
Yep. You strike and they raise their front legs up and parry your blows with it. Lorith, you are trapped inside of there. You need to make an athletics roll to get out.
Well, I'm really glad I bumped my athletics up the last time we were doing stuff. Let's see if it bears. Well, fruit doesn't sound right, but you know what I'm saying. Well, that's promising. Okay, that is 19 with a Tengu.
You break yourself out of the spider's web.
Can I take a further action?
Nope, that's your action. Thor.
Okay, I am going to step up. Is it okay if I plant the torch into the mud since it's there?
Yeah, sure.
And I would like to take a swing with my mattock at him. Okay. Excellent. So that is a edge with 10, 22, 25. 25 to hit with 2 Tengu.
Not a problem. That's an extraordinary success. 2 times your body plus your damage.
Alright, so damage is 10 plus body's 12, 22.
22, no problem, as you squish the spider. Horrible gore goes flying through the air and slides down into the mud, emerges into the mud pit. Celeborn?
I move up and I strike this one next to Lorith.
Okay.
Or try to strike it with my sword. Swinging with 2 hands. And I get 20 with a Tengu.
That hits with a great success. Damage plus your strength, your body.
So that would be 12 damage.
12 damage. That's exactly how much endurance these guys have. You stab
Sweet.
it, and gore goes flying out in all directions, and making the floor not dusty anymore, but covered in entrails.
Icker.
Icker.
Yeah.
Is there a way can I still move or no?
You can move.
All right, because I'll try to stand in front of Lorith. She probably won't be happy about that, but
No.
Be upset with you.
So you are surrounded by a couple spiders. So 2 spiders will come at you and try to sting you.
I just shake my head at Hellebrimborn. Gotta respect the ranger.
17. What is your parry?
7.
Nope. Close, but no cigar. That's a Gandalf. He failed miserably as he slipped on the ichor. The other one will go after Sigurd.
No.
Try to sting him. That's a 10, so I don't think that's going... Well, what's your parry?
My parry is 6. Oh,
6, so 12... No. This is about you by a couple.
These spiders are so much less tough than the giant ants we fought in Shadowrun. And you don't even want to think about the cockroaches.
And Sigurd, you're attacked by the other spider,
No.
who takes his attention off the old man, who doesn't seem to be like that great. That's an 18 to get you.
No.
Sting. You take attribute level damage. 3 points of damage.
No. Okay.
And he did not do a called shot on you, so you are not poisoned.
Good. Thank God.
Alright, who wants to change stances?
I do.
Where do you want to go?
I would like to change to an open stance.
Okay. Anyone else want to change?
No.
I'll stay this defensive.
Okay.
Can I go more forward?
No, there's no more
There's
forward.
no berserker mode.
This is berserker mode.
Maximum forward.
So, Lorith, you're first.
Okay, I can't see.
There's a
who's
spider next to you.
alive.
Alive.
All right. Well, I will slice and dice him as I may, or hope to slice and dice him. That's good. Roll them in 2s instead of 1s. I put more into my longsword, and now I'm glad. All right, 9, 10, 11, 12. 20 to hit.
20. Any Tengus?
No, sadly no.
Okay, that's going to hit. What's your damage?
What's my longsword? 7.
7. Okay. That causes a nice bit of damage as you stab him, and there's a splattering. That's Lorith. So that brings us to Sigurd.
I assume that the one that Lorith just attacked is the one that is also right next to me.
Yep.
So I will attack that one as well. 19.
Any Tengus?
No Tengus.
19 hits.
I do 7 damage.
7 damage, and that's enough to make it fall down flop about on the ground, and it falls into the mud pit and stops moving.
Ah.
On to the next.
That was Sigurd, so we'll go to Thor.
All right. Well, I will spin around the corner and attack the one to the right of Ella Brimborn. No edge, but I did get a Tengu, so 12, 15, 18. Did an 18 hit?
Yes, you hit.
Okay. And one Tengu, so
You
that
pound
would be
your matic against its side.
16 damage.
16, and that splatters its head to where there's a crunching sound, and it drops dead. Ella Brimborn.
Ella Brimborn starts taunting the spiders. Little dainty feet will never taste sweet meat. If you wouldn't leap so much, the elf you'd have a chance to munch.
But instead, I will crunch.
16 with a Tengu.
16 with the Tengu. That costs it. It's a point of 2 points of hate, so it's down to 0 hate. So that keeps it from doing some of its special abilities. Alright, that was Ella Brimborn. So that brings us to spiders. Spider goes against...
Did Radagast get to go?
Radagast goes as reactions to things. He's kind of... When the dice go in your favor, he makes things happen.
Good.
Let's see. Spider against Sigurd. 12. That's not going to hit him.
Nope.
Let's see. Other spider around goes against Ella Brimborn. Because he's annoyed by the rhyme. 18. So that's 12 plus your... What's your parry?
7.
So you made it by 1. That's all the spiders that are left. Radagast, takes his staff, puts it to the ground, and a giant hawk comes down from the ground and scoops up one of the spiders and carries it off into the swamp.
Cool.
So how many more left?
You have 1 left.
Very good.
Who wants to change positions?
Not me.
I can go forward.
Yeah, I want to go forward too.
Then don't be so damn protective.
I'll
Laura
stay
did
open.
really say that. I
Thor.
just
Alright, so if I can
Don't
get
kill
in?
it.
Can I get in there?
You sure can.
Okay.
Don't kill it. I want to taunt it.
You want to taunt it?
did.
You can taunt its dead body. You can check to
Adu?
see if it's still
Well,
alive.
I'll start.
It
speaking
intimidates
while
it,
you're
costs,
fighting it.
makes it
So
lose its points
Gandalf
of
with the
hate.
Tengu.
Okay,
So that's injury.
nice.
That's injury and
Yeah.
it's armor.
And if not, it's
It's 2d. It's 2d.
10 plus
What's the injury?
16. At a minimum, it's a 16.
At 9, so you describe how you kill it.
Oh, I just splat him with the flat of my blade down upon its abdomen, and it just squishes out all over.
There you go.
So Ella Brimborn said, "Lazy spiders, it's been a long day. Your sisters and brothers, we have all slayed. Why didn't you run away? You may have lived to fight another day." I just had to modify it.
That's right.
So
Well done.
I'll continue the search for treasure throughout this little area, and then we'll depart if we don't.
You could go over into this area, see that it's a dead end where the spiders have bones and things and where they've been layering.
Okay.
And there's this closed door up here that you see.
Okay. We can try that door. I think we've been in there, right? Maybe not.
Yeah, there's some. I think there's a huge statue in there.
Yeah, let's check one more time. Maybe they left treasure up in there. I'll go ahead and enter.
Yeah, I think we've been in there.
Okay.
Radagast says, "This is a tomb of one of the 9.
Ooh, Tomb of the 9.
I'd almost say let's look for treasure in here, but
Yeah.
that's probably not the treasure that we would really want.
Yeah.
Usually it could be tainted. It could be like a black treasure, but
It is guaranteed to be tainted."
can I use Shadow Lord to determine which of the 9 this was?
Sure. Let's see. This is... The Ghost of the Forest.
Tell me, with my lore of Arner, what can I tell about him? About that person?
He is was a great recruiter of uniting the orcs to fight, as well as other fell beasts such as werewolves and vampires. He brought united the bulk of the fighting force for Sauron.
Has this tomb been disturbed lately, or anyone been in here to worship, or potentially
Wake them up.
wake them up? Yeah.
It looks fairly besides spider webs, that like it hasn't been disturbed.
I asked Radagast if there's anything we can do to, I don't know, like, kind of sanctify or make this place, like, healthier or, more religiously good.
The White Council has done what it can for this area. It is just going to be time now to heal. And also, it depends on the actions of men and elves and dwarves. The more positive that they are, the faster this land will heal. The more evil they are, like the Tyrant's Hill, the slower this land will heal.
Can I maybe, with some elven magic, cast something on the door that good people will find it, and either like a magic mouth or elven letters will come up and warn good people not to enter this area, that it means certain doom?
You can do that.
And that evil wouldn't know that,
What about my kinsman that was supposed to meet us here?
So I'll, like, on the outside of the door, I'll do something like that.
You haven't run into him yet.
Did you find treasure, Thor?
I was looking.
Do you want to open the sarcophagus?
I would say not.
I would not allow that.
No, that seems like a terribly bad idea.
Is that a bad
Even
idea?
if somebody
Okay.
was
Well,
full.
since the shadow has weighted my presence down, I'm timid in my approach to the tomb, so I will depart this evil place.
A tomb like that you do not want to disturb.
Radagast is my good buddy. Hey, Radagast, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
That's not such a good place in there.
Let us go back to Roscoble and enjoy in a beverage.
That sounds like a great idea.
Let us go back with the rabbits. Let us. It was
I heard tell you had some fast rabbits. Any chance they could pick us up?
Not out. They don't like to come down into here.
yeah, I can understand that.
Very good.
They could pick us up. What is that? Taxi service?
Yeah, Uber.
Yeah. Yeah.
Middle
Jack
Earth.
Rabbit Uber.
The eagles are called Lift.
There is a sound near the entryway here.
We didn't hear that.
Sound.
Entryway or exit?
What sound?
The entryway exit. There seems to be a sound of the rusty door being opened.
And where exactly is that coming from?
Coming from down in here.
Down in there. Okay, so we haven't reached there yet. Okay.
Can we see it?
Would we have heard that
No.
from back here?
You hear it echoing throughout the entire place.
Echoing.
I try to use my Elven distinctive feature, quick of hearing, to see if I can distinguish if there's anyone talking or language or how many feet or anything like that.
You
How
hear
many feet are coming?
two footfalls, but you don't hear any speaking.
You want to lay a trap like the orcs did for us?
If you can do it.
Or at least set an ambush.
It could be a friend.
Well, I'm assuming the ranger can create some
Traps.
Yeah, I agree with Lauren.
Not necessarily traps, but at least hiding behind something, some of the mud or what have you, and
I can't see. Where
It could be someone good.
You're around the corner.
I'm probably better behind a door.
Let us wait.
Or
Keep
listening
an arrow
to-
knocked, elf, and if it's wait to see if it's a foe. Which it
I don't think friends are coming this way,
Yeah, it doesn't seem likely, but
but it
I think
could
we
be
should
the
just-
there
return
may
of
be
the
one.
traitor.
let's set an ambush, but we don't have to attack.
Yes.
Although we probably will.
So I don't know if the elves, the elf or Elebrimborn and Lorith, you may want to hide in this center room, and we can stand behind this door, and you can beckon us in. Your call.
You hear footfalls on the
Maybe
bridge
stand in
over
here.
here.
Gotta move, Lorith.
Yeah.
Oh.
You gonna find a hiding place?
I want to find a place that I can hide, but that I can see from.
You want to go down in the pit?
No, I was there before. It wasn't fun.
You can be against the side of the doorway.
Okay.
Garrett, could you give me control of that icon? I don't actually have control of that icon.
Oops.
This is good sherry. Do these footfalls sound like somebody walking straight ahead,
Yep.
or somebody taking care to be quiet
Thank you, sir.
and stealthy?
Now, if you're going out, I'll go out
Sounds-
then too.
Make
I'll
an
just-
awareness check.
I will do that. $15 with 2 tengus.
15 with 2 tengus. Okay. It sounds like stealth walk, like you've been trained to do.
Watch, but do not attack. Unless it's an orc. And even then, we may want to capture him and question him.
Lorth, is that you? I can hear breathing in here.
What was his name again?
Can hear breathing.
It wasn't Wheeler, it was the other one.
It was actually some windage from the dwarf.
Fallen. Wait, no, that was the elf sailor.
Yeah.
Does it sound like a male voice?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, well, Ella Brimborn is like in his head. He's getting really jealous now that there's some other man that that's after Lorith. So he doesn't like this person already.
What's his name?
I'm looking for it.
You can't expect me to remember the name of my own kinsman, for God's sakes.
Make a new name.
Oh. Rogan.
Rogan?
Rogan.
Rogan. Okay.
Rogan. Is that you?
Hey, it is me.
It's alright, it's my kinsman. You're
Okay.
late.
Very brave for coming to the castle on his own.
I've come into Fenbridge. I wasn't intending to go to. Was not intending to go all the way out to Dol Guldur.
It's a great place to visit.
Can I roll insight to see if he's lying?
Sure.
Didn't we hear 2 sets of footsteps?
No, you
Said
heard 2 feet.
footfalls.
2 footfalls.
Oh, okay.
They moved.
All
in
right, I
sets of
got
two.
a Gandalf.
He's does not have the guts to go alone wandering through Dol Guldur.
Who does? You were a little loud walking here. We heard you from afar. Luckily,
As I intended it.
we took care of the vermin before you came.
Always nice of you to clean up before me.
What news? Any movements in the north?
Simply some strange things going on in Bree.
Oh.
There's a hobbit family that we've been taking care of, who went on an adventure, and we've been protecting him as he's been going back and forth through the marshes, and he has passed away, and he's about to pass away, so a couple of us have been gathered around in Bree to be there for his family.
What? We were there not long ago.
Yes, well, illness sets in, and when it sets in,
Well,
it sets in.
When you travel through the marshes, that'll happen. Well, come with us, and we can talk more when we clear out of this area.
Will do. So you guys clear out of there?
Most expeditiously.
Yes.
So you clear out of Dol Guldur.
And while we're doing that, I'm just chatting a little bit animatedly with him, blah 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 blah. With
Mhm.
and people we know, blah blah blah.
You are out of Dol Guldur. Now to get out of the area.
So I have 2 questions for Radagast as we travel back.
Certainly.
One was, You had mentioned to me in the past about the Nazgul ruby and its and its history with the toe ring that my parents had come upon. Do you recall anything more about the ruby and how it plays out with the toe ring?
The two are one and the same. The ruby once was part of the ring, and the ring was once part of the was connected to the ruby. They want to be together. They are items of power when separate, but together they are much more dangerous. The owner of the ruby, if they know of the ring, will be hunting for that quite a lot.
Then I have placed my mare in danger, since I left the ring with her to find out more about it.
Well, all the dwarves of Erebor will probably be keeping keeping her safe. If she's out traveling, that's another story.
So, would you happen to know who were some of the previous owners of the ruby, besides the Nazgul?
Why, certainly I do. That would be Frerin the fourth, Lofar the second, and Borin the seventh. All prestigious dwarves from the Iron Hills.
So maybe one of their kinsmen still have the ruby, or was it lost to the dwarves at some time?
I have not heard of its fate since the Nazgul.
Okay.
It is possible that one of the adventurers who confronted the Nazgul might have claimed it. It's also possible that it lies in some crypt with the Nazgul somewhere.
You do not believe that my mare may be in danger at this time?
I believe that if there is someone with that ruby, then they are hunting for that ring.
Okay.
Can the ring be unmade?
Certainly the ring can be unmade. In the Master Elrond's smiths in Rivendell should have the ability to do that.
That might be a
Very
wise
good.
choice, but it's not mine to say.
Yeah, it is mine, and it would be my wish to destroy it if it is tainted with evil.
Not tainted with evil, but tainted with power.
Mm.
What you do with it is what makes you evil or good.
Okay. So it is neither evil nor good?
It is neither evil nor good. It was found in the mountain and shaped by the elves long before Sauron.
The ring.
The ring itself is a ring of power crafted by the dwarves. Again, it's neutral.
What's the nature of the power of this ring and the power of this ruby, and what's the nature of their powers if combined?
That is something of great lore. We would need to go to a place of great lore, like Isengard or to Minas Tirith to research this.
Okay.
Or possibly Master Elrond's.
So this isn't
at
one of the
Rivendell.
7 rings. So.
This isn't one of the 7 rings.
Just asking.
Very good. Well, thank you for the knowledge you've been able to give to me. history of my parents' death is tied to that toe ring, and it would be good to uncover what was before beset to my parents as they were slain for having this ring.
I think I still have 4 points of damage. Can I, my friend, heal me?
So Eric, the toe
Yeah.
ring was something that I came upon
You
at
your
Isengard.
back.
Okay.
There was a chef at Isengard who knew my parents, and I recall from my childhood of being near a tower, like most likely Isengard, when my parents were slain. They had taken us on one of their numerous trips to do research. They were big into looking up lore and finding out more about dwarven history, and I was told that they were slain by the Goblin King and his minions.
Oh, okay.
That they had stolen the toe ring from the Goblin King and had taken his toe with him. So it's possible that the Goblin King may have had the ruby at some point.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Rogan's ears perk up. He knows the Goblin King.
All very good. And then
Come against
my second question was about the shadow that has befallen me, and if there is anything that Radagast can recommend that we do to try and take away this darkness that is now.
I recommend going to a
haunting us.
sanctuary to rest for a while, and I will bless you and if you take. And so basically, if you do the heal corruption thing on your next fellowship phase, you'll heal twice the amount of shadow points that you normally would.
Okay, great.
That's good because I have 3 shadow points as well.
Great.
So you are
All right.
traveling through the very dark areas around Dol Guldur. You need to make 3 travel rolls, and you need a TN 18.
Okay, and I will continue to wear my cloak.
Yeah, me as well.
You know, but you said hope.
Cloaky.
Right, at the end of a battle, you get enough
Right.
points equal to your, your heart back.
Oh, okay. You said hope, so
I
it's
just go.
confusing. Okay, so stop.
Oh, at the end of a battle, you get the number of points back.
Yes,
But
equal
not
to
your
your heart.
endurance.
Oh, okay.
Just your.
In that
To
case,
your endurance. Endurance
Okay.
lost.
Okay.
I have a feeling I'm going to miss a lot of travel rolls right here, though.
Yeah, I was keeping track of it here, so I don't have to keep.
Oh, that's an 18.
Redoing it.
That's what you need.
I made one at least. That's a 13. Oh, and that's a 19. Oh man, I made 2.
Yep. So you lose 2 points of you lose 2 points of endurance.
Oh, I had one that was one of these had a tango. The 19 had a tango on it too. Okay.
Yep.
I got 19. For
So
my
mark
first,
that down as for your things. You got a 19
for my first travel.
for your first travel roll. Laura's doing good.
And 16 for my second one.
16 is not good enough.
Okay.
You lose 2 points of endurance.
I still make the third.
You can still go for the third.
And 16 again.
Yep, you lose 2 more points.
Shite.
And you notice that by this point that even Radagast is snippy when talked to, and his spirit seems to be really dour right now. Ella Brimborn?
I got a 15, 21, and a 16.
Okay, you lose 4 points.
So I say, Radagast, you seem low. let my kinsman sing you an air. He's a wonderful bard in his spare time when he is not busy guarding. He has some good stories he can tell. Sing your version of the meeting of Luthien and Baron, Rogan. The short.
Rogan will do so with his 2 in song.
Mike, didn't you have a song that we had for traveling song?
He got a 16 with a tango, so it's a great success.
Yeah.
Everybody regains gains a point of endurance as you feel good, as you're feeling good.
Nice.
That's a good point, George. I should have done that. Yeah.
That's okay. So Garrett, I got a 21, a 19 with the Tengu, and then a 19.
All right, you have no problem going through this. This is nothing like traveling underground through some of the worst areas.
Yeah, so if anyone hasn't rolled yet, I can sing the travel song, and they get to add 2 success dice to any roll.
Ooh.
Oh, I already rolled on mine, but I got a point back, so.
Okay, so you get back to that. Now you have traveled back to from Dol Guldur near Tyrant's Hill.
Oh no.
Back to Tyrant's Hill. You can't bypass Tyrant's Hill?
You want to try to bypass it?
Hell yes.
Make a travel or lore roll to see if you can figure out a route away from it.
Lore of Erner.
Very good.
I've got a trait, Lore of Erner.
No, that's lore, not geography.
Yeah, I mean.
I have a Gandalf.
What about Rogan?
With,
Does he know any?
no Tengus, but a Gandalf.
No, he's more from Arnor.
I got a 17 with Tengu.
19 with a Tengu.
Oh no, yeah, that's a 19 with a Tengu. I got a 19 with a Tengu as well.
And I got a Gandalf.
A 5 and a 2.
Your Elebrimborn suggests cutting across the forest to get to the Elven King's domain, and getting the information to there, and that would keep you away from Tyrant's Hill, but that'll be a much longer journey.
I got 18 with the Tengu. Does that help? 18
with the Tango, you suggest breaking out of the forest, going to westbound, and going around circumventing the forest to Rosgobel.
So, I'm challenging your idea, Elbrimborn, with this one. Just because.
What do you want to do?
I'm okay either way. I just thought if it was possible to bypass, if it's.
I think it's wise to bypass.
Relatively the same. I have no love for Tyrant's Hill, so if we do get near, then I cannot commit that I would not try to intercede if we happened upon more of their
unfortunates.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Sigurd, what say you?
I don't like Tyrant's Hill either. That's where that guy, whose name I don't recall.
Mogrid?
Mogrid.
Yeah. I'm with the ranger. I'm with the ranger. I think we should break out of the forest and travel outside of the forest to Rosgobel.
Break out of the forest into the vales. Here.
Elebrimborn says that's like a snail outside of its shell. You're vulnerable. The forest is the greenwood is the safest place to be. It's a place of beauty.
Well.
But I will follow my companions ere they lead. And he sings the travel song so that they can
Basically,
gain the
you'd be
benefit
breaking
of
west out of
their next travel rules.
I guess I
Mirkwood and then
will,
following
lean
the
back
forests
towards-
northeast toward Roscoble.
Yeah, I would lean back towards Radagast and ask for his recommendation
Yeah.
since he's the
Yeah. What does
the
Radagast
wisest
want?
among us.
I do not want to go to Tyrant's Hill, but I see a wisdom in delivering this information to Thranduil as quickly as possible.
That doesn't tell me anything. I mean,
Well, if we want to avoid Tyrant's Hill, we can break out of the forest. If we want to get there the fastest, I would think it's around Tyrant's Hill.
I've seen enough. I think we should break out of the forest.
Okay.
Is
Everybody,
there a chance that I could run across an elf or something in the woods that I could talk to and have them send message back to the Elven Kingdom?
not this far south.
Okay.
Maybe Radagast.
You
could
wouldn't
call a
trust
bird
any
friend.
elf who lives this close to Dol Guldur.
Maybe Radagast could call one of his bird friends to carry a message faster than we can get there. Is that possible?
Oh, you can do that as well, Ella Brimborn, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I possibly find some kind of, bird or forest creatures that are willing to spread the word back. A bird would be the best just because I could tie the map or that document with all the elven secrets to it to have it go back to King Thranduil. But
Maybe just raise the alert with Thranduil that there may be a traitor in his midst. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it
without
may
you
be
being
an
able to
elven
tell him what it
elven
is.
traitor.
Might not be. Well, so
So,
plot the course and we'll go.
okay. You haven't seen many birds in the last 10 days as you've been traveling through. This is a sickly part of the forest where birds that you would trust with this kind of mission don't live.
Mm.
It's a very sickly, marshy area.
all right, well, we'll try to remember. It's on our quest log.
Okay, so another day's journey, another travel roll to get out of the forest into the east Nether Vales.
You can add 2 success dice to your roll.
Cool.
Okay.
Sweet.
Well, you upset somebody else saying
If I miss this, it means I'd have to do a double eye of Soren. I did.
28.
Yeah, I got a 29. First roll.
Show off.
And a tango.
Well,
Next time
I
I
did
try.
get an Eye of Sauron. I got an Eye of Sauron.
You got an Eye of Sauron.
I have not been having very good luck today.
Okay.
I got 17.
What's everybody's position on this on the travel?
Well, a dwarf would always lead through the forest, right?
So
Oh
you're-
yeah.
Dwarf, who's gonna be the guy?
Crunch,
Who's the
crunch,
scout?
crunch.
Who's the guide? Who's the huntsman?
It's like, oh yeah,
Who's
there's
the
some nuts
lookout?
up here.
Well, Ella Brimborn is the foresty person, right? So he should
Whatever
be the guide.
awareness is, I'll do that.
That's the guide. Or the scout. That's the scout.
All right, I'll do the awareness.
That's lookout is awareness.
Look out his awareness. I think I was doing the
I'll be the huntsman.
guy.
Huntsman, okay.
If I see anything, I'll hoot twice like a barn owl, and if I don't see anything, I'll hoot 3 times like a screech owl.
What do they sound like? What's the difference?
They're actually very close
Uh-huh.
in sounds, but you can definitely tell the difference because one eats mice and the other one eats rats.
Go. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. That makes perfect sense.
Of course, they both eat bats when they're flying around in the air, if they can get them.
So Thor, what are you position are you taking?
I was always the guide.
You're the guide, okay. So that leaves Sigurd as the scout.
No, that's
Do you have explore, Sigurd?
No,
my outdoorsy
he's
skills are pretty
lookout.
Oh, okay.
Norman's lookout.
Awareness.
Oh yeah, I've got explore. I got 2 in explore. That's not bad.
Okay,
And
that's what I
Rogan will
have
bring
too.
up
So
the rear.
I'm much better with travel.
Okay, for the guide. The guide, make a travel test for me.
Okay. Got that. Gandalf with a Tengu.
You avoid a very marshy area of the forest and decide to take a wide berth of it.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a little extra time, but you don't get covered in leeches.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Sorry, Radagast. I know you wanted to recover some more leeches.
some
Since
leeches.
You used up so many on this journey.
That's okay. I will get some more. So you come out of the forest, and you're in the eastern Nether Vales. Some lands are blessed by those who dwell in them, like the lands of the elves, and some are made wonderful by long toil, like the cities of the dwarves. Others, though, are naturally blessed with fertility and temperate weather and beauty. The Shire of the Hobbits is one such place, so too are the East Nether Vales. Of all the lands of the river north of Rhoros, these regions are perhaps the most beautiful and the richest.
Okay.
All those who live here choose to bow to... Okay, so, yeah. The Vales are home to cattle and horses, as well as thousands of swans in the nearby neck, running along the east bank opposite the Gladden Fields. That region is also home to alarming swarms of blood-sucking or stinging insects that rise up in huge clouds from where you guys have been coming out of. The Vales show something of the taint of Mirkwood. Many animals in this area have jet black fur or feathers. Huge black cats prowl the grasslands and prey on the sheep and cattle of the folk who dwell here. Sometimes they also prey on children and lone travelers. But it's well known that a man who pays proper tribute to the necromancer is safe from animal attack, for all the wild beasts in this land pay homage to him. You also notice a lot of bear tracks and boar tracks as you are traveling. Make a hunting roll.
Okay. Can do.
All of us, or just
Nope, your hunter.
hunter? Okay.
11. Okay. You are tracking a boar a little bit through there to get a good meal, but you lose the track.
I should never roll them together. That's always a problem.
Make another travel test as you return to Rosgobel.
Okay.
All of us.
All of you.
Oh, okay. I got another Gandalf with a Tengu.
Excellent.
I got a 17.
What'd you get?
What?
Travel.
Oh, do we get extras again?
You're singing your song, right, Ella Brimborn?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
In that case,
Okay.
I got more, but yeah. 17 to 25.
25. You have a great time. This is beautiful land. In fact, you see a big black bear playing with some of its cubs even there, and that heartens you. Gain a point of hope.
Oh.
Nice.
19.
19, excellent.
24 with a Tengu.
24 with a Tengu. You also see the cubs and the areas and all the swans playing, and you even get to see some swan eggs hatch and baby swans come out and begin to play along the banks. You gain a point of hope.
Excellent.
And at last you return to the hedge maze that leads into Rosgobo.
Interesting.
Very good.
Radagast summons a bird from there and asks Ella Brimworm if you would like to write a message to Thranduil, as he will write his own message.
Yeah, I will write a message to Thranduil.
What do you say?
That we are concerned that there is a traitor in our midst because, and I send along that the document of the map that we found in Dol Guldur, and that someone is keeping account and giving information as to the Elven Kingdom, where the guards are on the Elven paths, and how many men are stationed inside the halls of the Thranduil, and that we should be on the lookout. And I don't know if someone would be able to look at this document and be able to tell who the handwriting is of this individual. That's why I'm forwarding this parchment. But there are traitors within the midst of the free folk that are giving aid and comfort to the Shadow and the Necromancer and all his minions. They're coming together and working with. I believe there's an orc and a man of Lake Town that is at least in league with the Necromancer, and it is sad tidings that people will turn like this. And mention the exchange of coins, and that we are in possession of an elven blade that was used in the tower as well. That could be evidence as to who the perpetrator might be, but we did not run across the elf. The man of Lake Town is dead.
Yeah.
That poor bird. He's got 12 pieces of parchment.
I don't double space. I just try to expand my margins really far.
All right, so you're in Roscovo, and you're free to have a fellowship phase.
Ah, good. Can use one.
I guess I'm going to try to get rid of the Shadow then.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a great idea.
It's especially nice
Same
since
here.
I might come. If Rogan stays at least a day or so to rest up himself and gives us the news, passes the time, tells some tales. He's probably been pretty hard on a mission and needs the time.
He's also a little grief-stricken by the Hobbit being sick.
So I comfort him.
And he invites you all back to Bree to visit the city and to help out if need be with when he passes.
Okay. When is he talking about?
He's talking about after your fellowship phase.
So right after.
You have an invitation.
Okay. We have an invitation to Bree.
Or you can go somewhere else.
Oh. I want to heal. I want to heal my shadow. How do I do it?
You take the heal corruption.
Oh.
Attempt a craft or song roll with a TN 14. On a successful roll, they reduce their score by 2 points. 4 points on a great success, 6 on extraordinary success.
Do you still have that elf knife that stabbed the orc?
I do. I think I gave it to Ella Brimborn though.
Well, cause I couldn't I use weapon repair to look at it and understand it better? That's my craft.
This is more to create something beautiful and do kind of like my painting is my catharsis to clear my head. This is doing something beautiful, not doing something work wise.
Well, that's my craft is weapon repair. I can use it for another thing. I mean, but
You can carve intricate things onto the knife and stuff like that.
well, I wouldn't carve on. I'm not going to mess with this one.
Mm-hmm.
I because this was a separate thing, because I.
Or you can resharpen a blade or something like that.
Yeah. I actually, I may. My longsword probably could use a little work,
Okay.
and it's probably been kind of, hard used now, and so I could give it some loving care and really make it look great.
Yep.
Or maybe, you know what? If Rogan has a knife that had a chip out of it or something, I would look at it. How about that? So that's doing something for somebody else.
That's doing something for somebody else.
Well, yeah, but then I can make it look great and repair it. Okay, so you're saying I can't.
Yeah, not
Okay.
for
All
not
right.
for this
Well, no,
purpose.
yeah, and maybe I'll add some personal extra stuff to my sword to personalize it and make it more mine. Now that I've really used it in combat a lot, I feel more kin to it. So, okay. I guess I could do that. So what do I do? Just a roll?
Yep, make a craft roll.
I only have one thing in craft. I got a 7.
That is not successful.
Well, that's my craft. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
I just started taking it.
So you know what you need to be working on in the future.
I guess so.
As you work on it, and you're struggling, and you go through it. But the more you work on it, the more you see that knife from there lying in there. You see the orc's body curled up in the bow. You see the orc's sword. You just keep thinking of those weapons and thinking of those two people stabbing each other to death on that floor of that lonely.
Are you trying to give me
Dol
more
Guldur.
shadow? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I'm saying that these are the
Okay.
things that are going through your head as the shadow works on you and doesn't as you're not able to dissipate it.
Doesn't let you heal the corruption.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else would you like to do? You can cash in your skill points and try to raise those.
Well, then I could raise the craft.
You could raise the craft.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
You could go backwards.
I'm
To
just messing with
raise a
that.
common skill, it costs 8 points of skill points.
You know, I haven't even marked it down for today, but what did we do? I had unsuccessful. What did I have successful? Where is? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points.
You got 9 points.
Mm-hmm.
You can raise it up to 2, and you have 1 left.
I'd have 1 point left.
Yep.
That uses 8 points.
It uses 8 points.
Okay. Well, we'll just.
So you
leave
re-roll that craft as you put work harder.
Let me get rid of all but 1 point so I don't forget and have the same. That's rather easy to do if you're not paying attention. Okay. Shh. Anybody else doing anything?
We're gonna get to
Not
them.
about me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Release it. It's like a tomb in here. Like a tomb in Dol Guldur. That's promising. Come on.
12. You want to spend a point of hope?
I don't think so. Well, wait a minute. A point of hope to get rid of Shadow?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I will. Okay.
Yep.
How many points, hope points of the fellowship do we have left?
Fellowship pool has 3. If you want to use one for the fellowship pool.
I don't know. How does everybody feel about that? I feel like I've used a lot of those.
I'm okay.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and use it.
Alright. So, what happened?
What happens? Did you get any Tengus?
No.
Nope. So you are using the heal corruption. Successful roll. You reduce your score by 2. That's doubled because of Radagast to 4 points. You've
Oh, good.
Get
So
rid
I've
of.
lost my shit. Thank you.
That is worth it for 4 points. 4 is a lot.
I only had 3. Myself. There we go. Alright. I'm done now. I can sit there with the... my friend and...
Alright, so you
Shit.
sit there and he tells you all about Bree and talks about the Chetwood out there where nobody seems to go, and there's a whole group of people, of halflings that are kind of removed from society that call it home out there, and he talks about them.
I tell him what I didn't get to tell him when he didn't show up at our meeting with Aileron about the Barrow White and all that, our experiences with that, and what we did, and what happened.
Okay. So you talk for a few days on that. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I don't have much to do.
Okay.
I'm saving basically all the points that I have, so I'm not spending any experience points or advancement points. But I will craft a song. I will write a song about the beauty of nature outside of Roscoble in the Gladden Fields. And when I saw that family of black bears, and they lifted my spirits, they lifted myself and my companion's spirits, because I saw that Ella Brimborn was also touched by the beauty of nature.
Touched. I'm touched.
That's my song. Let's see if it's any good. Nope. 9. Everyone thinks it sucks.
You can spend a point of hope to...
yeah. You know what? I'll do that. Yeah. I'll spend a point of hope.
It's not that we don't like it, it's just that you don't know how to rhyme yet. If you want to go freeform, it's fine. But you were trying to do a sonnet.
Did you get any Tengus in there?
Well,
I did not, no.
Okay, so 4 points of shadow are lost.
That's all I had, so that is totally worth it.
What else do you do on there? There is the longhouse that you can spend time in. There is the daughter of Fridwald the Runner, one of the leaders of the Woodmen, works there as a bartender, and she has a pierced lip and ears, and the tougher woodsmen hang on her every word, and you realize that's partly because she never raises her voice, and she speaks almost all in whispers. And she looks kind of plain looking despite her exotic piercing, and you can't tell if it's the strong drink she pours or her ability to match any man at arm wrestling. But Barrowin always remains the center of the social circle in the Great Hall. And she calls you over there and says, I hear you went to the Sorcerer's Hill with Radagast. Is that true?
It is. It is. It is a terrible place. A terrible place. Of great darkness.
Why did you go?
Mostly at the behest of Radagast.
Well, most people will do what he says.
He seems like I mean, he's one of the wizards. He's a very wise man. If he asks for my aid, I will freely give it. But we went there. We went there searching for essentially evidence of corruption in the land.
What did you find? In the land.
Be discreet now.
Yeah. I know, that's what I'm trying to think to myself. What exactly am I going to say here?
We found there's corruption.
We certainly found that there's corruption. We certainly found that Dol Guldur is a place haunted by the shadow. And if the current nature of Dol Guldur is any indication of the times we're to face going forward, we need to gather our strength. We need to gather our strength collectively and be ready for what may come.
You sound like Mogrid talking like that. That's exactly the words that he uses.
Except I don't do things the way that Mogrid does. I don't believe... I feel like Mogrid only means what he says to an extent. I think he is only interested truly in protecting the people that are with him. My interest is in Middle Earth at large, the greater Middle Earth. I mean, I travel with people from all over this land. And so my concern is with my fellowship and with all the things that they care about.
So you don't think that we should be focusing on our local defenses in order to win the battle? That it's not the small battles that are going to add up?
No, I think that they will, but I don't think that that any of us can afford to be short-sighted. So while I agree with you that the local battles will matter and that we all need to make sure that we are strong and prepared for anything that may happen, at the same time, as Radagast asked me, I'm a man from Dale. Radagast asked me for help, and I freely gave it. So I think we need to be ready to support one another.
Oh, that's good. I'd hate to think that you were like Mogrid. That would
Perish
make me
the thought.
sad.
No, perish the thought.
And she pours you a very stiff drink of her own making.
And I say, cheers. Many thanks to you.
Cool, make an athletics roll.
This isn't going to work out well. I can always get a Gandalf. Oh, I got a Gandalf.
Oh, awesome.
All right.
So you celebrate well into the night with Barrowin and the company and her company there. But you do pay for it in the morning.
I acquit myself well, at least.
Cool. Thor, Ella Brimborn, who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Ella Brimborn.
Okay. So, Ella Brimborn is gonna write a song of the beauty of Dol Guldur, and the wisdom of the Elven Kings on its design and construction, and with his song rebuild the image of its glory over the corpse of what its present state is.
Aw.
Okay.
So he will try to do a song roll to beat off his corruption. He's trying to basically drive off the shadow with reliving the lore of the elves and their wisdom. Oh, sweet! So I got a Gandalf and one Tengu.
Wow.
So that should be 4 points.
4 points. Doubled to 8.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
All right. Well, I have a permanent point of shadow, right?
That will not go away.
Okay. Well, then I am healthy in heart and mind then.
Except for that little dark corner.
That little dark right.
One dark
Do you
spot.
perform the song at the Longhouse?
Yes.
Make a song roll for performing it. As you see Sigurd celebrating with Barrowin.
And I will try to join in with them as well, because it's something I discussed when we were in Fenbridge, that we should go back and drink together and join each other's fellowship.
Well, then we'll go
Uh,
and have a beer.
that's a 16.
16?
Yeah.
Everybody is really enjoying the song, and Barrowin looks at Sigurd and says, "Should I?"
Definitely.
She mixes a cocktail for you and gives it to you. Make an athletics check if you accept it.
Oh my God.
I think I'm starting to be affected by the drink.
Ella Brimborn says, "Is this supposed to do anything to you, or is this? This is not like the. Is this? When are we gonna drink the hard stuff?"
Ella Brembor likes to smoke things.
This, this is why people say that elves just drain the fun out of it.
I think I feel some tingling in my pinky finger.
What did you get?
Did you roll your athletics, Sigurd?
Oh yeah, I rolled it. Yeah, I got a Gandalf.
Ella Brimborn, what did you roll yours?
Oh, I got to roll too.
Oh,
Athletics?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he meant.
Oh, I just thought I'm naturally immune to any poison that man can make.
No, not quite.
15.
15? You get really tipsy and start dancing quite a bit with a lot of the ladies there.
All right.
Nice.
And by the time morning comes, you're wondering where your shirt is.
As he stumbles back in, I'm like, out late?
Thor?
All right, so Thor, what was the name of the woman at the inn?
Barrowin.
Barrowin?
Barrowin. It's spelled Bearuwyn.
Okay. So Barrowin, I approach her at some point in time, and I'm big on my trading aspects, and we had engaged in conversation before about taking some goods up north, which we had completed that activity, and I wanted to follow up to see if she's been able to send any more goods north up to some of Ella Brimborn's favorite people, since and his almost betrothed counterpart.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So I was wondering if any trade routes have been opened up with the people in the far north.
We've only established it once, but it has been favorable. I've heard from my father a bit about it, but you'd really need to talk to Fridwald about the details.
Okay. And Frigwald's
Fridwald the runner. He goes between all the woodman towns.
Okay.
The guy with the toys.
So
No,
I
he's,
also
kind of-
asked her about any potential dealings with Thranduil, if she had anything that she'd like to send with us, as we believe we'll depart for Thranduil's halls soon. If she had anything that she was open to trading.
It's getting late in the early. It's around harvest time right now, so we have plenty of vegetables and foods that we've harvested that would like to trade.
Okay, great. Anything that we can do to also potentially trade with some of the folks farther north towards Lake Town. If you have any goods there that you want to send with us, we'd be happy to negotiate that for a small fee.
Is there a need for lumber up there?
Yes, there are actually lumberers up there, and they've been harvesting the trees. We've been trying to.
I think it would be a bit much for you to take a significant amount of our lumber up there.
Okay. All right. Is there anything unique about the lumber from this area versus farther north near Thranduil's?
I don't know. I've never been out there.
No, I meant would I know that if there was anything?
It's different types of trees.
Okay.
For different purposes.
Okay. All right.
Soccer
Okay.
jerseys.
So as part of my fellowship, then I'll negotiate that. Hopefully, there's some treasure points involved in being able to trade the goods and bring goodwill again to the people across the realm, which is something I keep trying to do. Maybe the lumber may be of use to some of my people that are near Thranduil's as well. I would like to actually I'm basically seeing the wood, and I instead of using typically metal in my craftsmanship, I'd like to use the wood and maybe make a few trinkets out of the wood, and something that maybe of some of the animals of the forest, and basically crafting those and carving those into something that would be simple for my mare to enjoy. Maybe a platter in the shape of a dove or something like that I can take with me.
Absolutely. Make a craft roll.
All right. So that's part of my corruption and healing as well. Okay, awesome. Let's see, 13 and 7, so a 20 with 1 tango.
All right, so that's 4, so that's 8 points of shadow removed.
Okay, so I'm good on the shadow then. And I will... Who has the highest courtesy in the group?
I have a courtesy of...
I got a 2.
Yeah, I have a 2 as well.
I've got one.
Okay. Then I will bump up my courtesy, since we have song going pretty well. And I probably need it since I'm trying to be the diplomat. So I will bump up my courtesy, which is a non-favored skill. So that will use 12 advancement points. Puts me at 7. I will hold there, and then I will take the opportunity to, I'm going to bump up my, hang on one sec. I'm debating whether to bump up my Matic or one of my attributes.
Attributes, don't you need a lot for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need 16. I have exactly 16 experience points saved up. So, you know, I think it's probably, everybody else is at 3 and 4 for valor and wisdom.
Yeah, Valor
I'm at 2
4,
and
Wisdom
3.
3.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna bump up my Matic. I haven't bumped it up in a while, so I will do that.
All right.
And I assume that I've been working with some of the folks in the area since they're good with their axes. Maybe I'm picking up some techniques of some of their axe maneuvers to combine with my Matic to improve my.
The biggest
skills.
warrior that they have there is man named Bargrim, who also trains the local militia as well as trains a lot of the woodsmen's hounds.
Great.
And he's always up for a duel and practicing with different weapons.
Okay, great.
Make a opposed attack roll with him.
All right.
See who wins this?
I'm gonna use my new Matic. Uh-oh. Says my connection to the server is interrupted. Can everybody still hear me?
Hear you
Yeah.
just fine.
Okay, great.
I can hear you.
All right. Not the best. 10. So I got edge. 17, 20, 23 with edge.
You got 18 with a great success, so you're able to. He's beating you at the beginning pretty mercilessly and keeping you on the move, but with decisive tactics, you're able to knock the weapon out of his hand.
Yeah, very good.
Looks like I owe you a drink. Let's see what Barrowin's got over in the longhouse these days, huh?
Beautiful. Love to.
So when he goes in there, Ella Brimborn is, like half undressing off his shirt with all the ladies and the people in there, and he's recanting tales of Sigrid and him. They're like in arms, clinking mugs and getting rowdy, and he says, so he's telling everyone the story about how they killed the spiders. Big spiders in a dark tower beware, for an elven slayer is in their lair, who swings and makes a critical hit that drives out old Ton Nobby's shit. With elven sword, the spiders will cry till all the bitches finally die.
And I'll stay away from whatever he's having.
Give me your weakest beer, please.
I'll just have an ale, thank you very much.
Sure you don't want one of Barrowin's specials?
No, not when I'm watching him with this naked chest going there.
I tell Sigrid, I'm like, I think I'm growing hair on my chest. Look,
Yeah,
look.
yeah. I think I see
It's
one.
growing with the drink.
Which is odd for an elf.
That's when Lorith walks in.
With her kinsman. Let's go into a table in the corner over there, Rogan, and get an ale, I think.
Yeah, I'm not with him.
I'm not.
I am. I'm totally with you.
So Rogan's asked us, so are you coming out to Bree? Are you going off on somewhere else?
Well, I think we have an errand to report what we've seen to Thranduil.
Okay. If I need any help out there, I'll send a message.
Perhaps we may be able to come quickly after that. We'll have to ask what
Oh, I was assuming we were going back to Thranduil's to basically take the dagger there and maybe find out who is the owner of the dagger.
Yeah, it may take some time. It may be fast. We may not be the ones that have to figure out who the dagger belongs to, right?
True.
Mm-hmm.
I was just working the trading deal, that's all. I was going to take some lumber up with us. Either way. I mean, whatever Radagast, I mean, he's my patron, so whatever Radagast believes is the best use of my skills, I'm open to listening to him and taking his counsel.
Well, he pretty much, we did the task he asked us of, right? He asked us.
Yeah.
Sure.
I know we've got the follow-up.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't put it to the company yet, Rogan's offer, so I figured I'd do that in the morning. Maybe late morning.
So I would like to ask Radagast if he heard any more news of Gandalf and whether Gandalf is recovering now or whether he's sent word for us again or any general news from Isengard.
Well, last I heard that Gandalf has gone on down to Rohan.
Rohan.
He's gone off to Rohan to consult with King Thango.
I guess he's feeling better.
Oh, must be feeling better. Back to his wandering self.
Wow. Okay. Should
Let's
Well,
drink
I
to
guess-
Gandalf. To Gandalf. To Gandalf's health.
So Radagast, would you provide us counsel as to where you think our services would be best suited in our next journey?
Well, I think definitely you need to consult with King Thranduil before, and at least make sure he doesn't do anything hasty.
Okay. I'm up for returning back and potentially meeting up with some of my kinsmen to make sure they're doing well and maybe trade this lumber with them.
That would be good.
Maybe we can bring some goods from here to trade with people.
That's what I was doing. I was trying to get some goods to take back towards Thranduil. So we had vegetables we could take and lumber. So I thought Frar might use the lumber, and if they've come across any news of their current undertakings, and maybe they've discovered some of that treasure that they had from before, maybe we can return the favor back with the folks from Roscoble. Since those were two areas to still explore, are the dragon and the treasure, and then Thranduil.
Is that everybody?
Mm-hmm.
So, gents, in the morning, after everybody's recovered from their drunk a little bit, I will tell you that my kinsman Rogan has invited us to come to Bree, and that in fact he sounds like he could use some help with something out there. I'm not sure exactly what he needs from us, but there's a lot going on. After our errand to Thranduil is completed, if we want, we are welcome and invited and sort of petitioned.
So can we talk to Rogan and see what he is asking of us?
Yeah, sure.
I just would want to know whether it's a more compelling event to go to Thranduil or to Bree.
Well, no, I mean, I wouldn't ask us to do it instead of. We should definitely go to Thranduil first, because this is a follow up to what we did, and he needs to know, and he might need to question any and all of us about, you know, the two that we did find, as you know. But afterwards, if anybody and everybody is willing, perhaps we would consider that.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. I'll send out word to the Shire and see if my friend Bilbo can meet us in Bree. I have not seen him since the riddle contest of Dragontide. It would be nice to see him again if he's available. Maybe he can take himself away from his writings.
I would be interested to meet him. I've heard somewhat about him in Bree.
He is a pleasant fellow.
Okay.
He saved the kingdom of Erebor.
Oh yeah, Dale too.
Yes. Saved us all.
You mean the Bilbo Baggins?
The Bilbo Baggins.
Oh man, I would love to meet him.
Yeah.
Well,
I will see if he can restock us in pipeweed, possibly from the Shire. Maybe that would be our secret mission.
you know, I
we
don't miss it.
we run low.
I don't miss it at all. I swear.
The pipeweed?
I don't miss it. Yeah, you know, I gave up smoking. I traded smoking for boating skill. For boating as a distinctive feature. So, yeah, I might get the jitters every once in a while. But now it just gives me a sore throat.
So here's the big map. How are you planning on getting to Thranduil's?
So if we're taking,
We're there.
we're going to have some carts with us. I assume that you know, some of the folk are coming with us, or are we just taking the wagons ourselves?
You're taking things yourself.
Okay.
We're not going to be able to carry lumber on our backs.
No, we'd have to have wagons and go the normal route.
Oh, you meant?
Probably whatever is the easiest path. I don't know if this is the easiest path across the woods, or would it be easier to go this way? Since we're at Roscoble already, or do we want to go further north up here more by the ford?
Well,
The old ford.
I would
Stand
think,
up. The old forest road, or do you want to take the elf path?
well, if we take the elf path, the square there, is that Sunsteep over there?
Here?
Yeah.
That's Sunsteed at the East Bight. Yeah.
Yeah, so we could check to see if the whites have been appeased. If not, then maybe we have to take care of the whites.
That's cutting through the darkest part, some of the darkest part of the forest to get to there.
Okay. Well, then I guess we'll
That's
skip.
not over for with wagons.
Unless you want to go around south.
No, I'd say go north.
Okay. All right. Then let's just take the most direct with the
Right
old
here,
forest
right?
road. Yeah, that's the old forest road. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the old That's the old forest road, and up here is the elf path.
Okay.
You guys want to do the elf path or the old forest road?
Well,
I think the old forest road has better ability for a wagon to pass than the elf path.
Mm-hmm.
Can we potentially like float Can we float the lumber up the? I guess that's the river running into the long lake, and then, up to his halls. up to Thranduil's halls.
Yeah, go. You mean go this way? Yeah.
We got boating. Can
Yeah.
we get boats?
That's again cutting across some of the darkest parts of the forest to get to the river running.
But we go across the Old Forest Road here, right?
That's the Old Forest Road's a little bit higher. It's up to here.
Oh, okay. Well, we still could
Then
get
the
to
elf
this
path
river. Is
is
that what
up
you're
to
talking
here.
about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I can't really see the map. But, so,
You know the Middle Earth map pretty well.
I would always...
I would gather that the river from Thranduil's Halls runs this way, obviously, because the barrels went that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'd be going against the
Current.
current, but maybe we can do like the how they used to do a lot of historically take stuff up and down canals that would have like a raft and then like donkeys on the on either sides, and they would tie the raft to like donkeys and have the donkeys just walk up the river.
Yeah, like the
they'd
Erie
walk up the
Canal.
paths. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like
or
the Erie
donkeys
Canal, yeah.
or whatever, horses, I guess too. I assume those barrels have to get up to the Elven King in some way.
They're usually carried from the southeast from Darwinian,
Oh, really? Okay.
which is way southeast.
Yeah.
Watching what's left of the canal locks empty and fill and stuff is pretty cool. My mom used to live right on the waterfront in Buffalo, and we visited that part.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 12 minutes away from here, basically.
Right.
But it's neat to see.
Well, I will leave it with the elf and the ranger to guide us with the best path.
What would I use for that? To make my decision on ideas.
Travel or lore?
Lore. Okay. I'll make a lore roll. Yeah, because there might be something current happening that I would know about that would change the view. Well, first I rolled a Gandalf. I rolled a 5 and a Tango. And I rolled another Tango. Tell me what to do. I rolled a fucking great roll.
Their idea of going across the forest road is a solid idea. That's the most common method of travel, and then you can catch the river running.
With what? With
There are plenty of there are elves with boats that are along that route. That your elf friends,
okay.
they'll lend you some boats.
Okay. Anybody else got boating?
I got swimming. In case I fall overboard.
No boating, but I can make a fire.
Not
I
on
like
the
the
boat.
water.
Yeah, not on a boat.
I like
fire in the
water.
damn boat.
I'm willing to boat.
Yeah.
But I'm good at trading. I'm sure we can find
Yeah.
a deal
We could-
to get a boat.
I'm sure we
you
could
know,
get somebody to captain
somebody
one of
to
them.
get us there.
I've got boating as a distinctive feature now, so I can do
Yeah.
one.
Plus, I'm from Dale. That's what
I don't mind traveling south and going around and going to Sunsteed and making sure that the whites have been taken care of.
We can take care of whites anytime. There's whites all over the world.
I think it's important to go talk to King Thranduil and warn him.
Yeah.
Make sure that he got the message about the traitor.
Yeah, and
Okay.
give him Radagast's warning not to be hasty.
Okay.
That's probably wise.
All right.
Besides, you don't want to waste my great roll.
Exactly. It's a shame.
How often does that happen? Not.
We do ask Radagast if he has any rabbits we can borrow.
They've lent me a service as I need be. They're not for rent.
Okay.
Not for rent. Can you rent us some rabbits?
He's not Hugh Hefner. He's just Radagast.
All right.
And of course, no one's Hugh Hefner now.
Then we depart in the morning. Did Rogan have any concerns about our choosing to go to Thranduil
No.
over Bree, or?
Says he'll send you a message if he needs you.
Okay.
And he goes off on his own.
Mm-hmm.
I hug him goodbye.
All right. We wish him well.
I say goodbye to Radagast.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise.
I use my newfound courtesy to say farewell in his terms, and I let a dove fly from my coat pocket.
Okay. Everybody make a lore roll about this journey.
Okay.
Again?
Yep, this is... You can cut a day off your travel if you
Okay.
pass it with a TN 14 about this path.
I got a 14.
There you go. You cut a day off your path.
Got a 21 with a
Good,
Tengu.
because I'm not rolling well.
Okay. You, together with your knowledge of it, you know that going on the old Forest Road, there's some strangers in there. There's rumors to be outlaws hiding along the edge of the road. There's also rumors of people travelers who've gone through and not been seen again. And there's, of course, the common thing of please don't drink the water near the elf.
Right. Don't drink the Black River.
Don't drink from the Black River.
Sorry, we like to wander off the path a lot too.
A stream.
Yeah, you shouldn't do much of that either.
Right, so.
We like to wander off paths and drink black water.
Remember, I can make those twinkling lights now off the path, so that's one of the skills I got. Elf magic.
Oh yeah.
Did you find your shirt, Ella Brimborn?
What shirt?
The one
that's
you
not a
weren't
shirt.
wearing
You got
when
hair
I
now.
came into the
Yeah.
inn.
A thick mat of hair.
I'm becoming a hobbit on my chest.
I thought owls were naturally hairless and smooth.
That's some good drink down there in Roscoble.
Okay. Make a travel roll. Let's see.
All right, well, I sing my song. I don't know how much we can abuse that, but singing the travel song and getting the extra 2 skill dice, but
Well, you're going home, so,
success dice add to your travel
Had a
roll.
fellowship phase.
Oh man. I got a Gandalf and 2 Tengus.
I got
All right.
a Tengu, but lots
Make
of
sure
ones.
you mark that down.
Oh, I keep forgetting that.
24 with a Tengu.
Okay.
I got 19. No
19.
Tengu.
Travel's going really well. Again, you're traveling through some very nice hilly areas that remind you guys, those of you who've been to the Shire, with rolling hills. It just seems like it could just use a gardener here and there, and it would be perfect.
24 with a Tengu.
24 with the Tengu.
Tango, is that the dance you were doing in that bar the other night with all those girls?
Yeah.
You
So you were watching me, Lorth.
Yeah, she sounds jealous.
Yeah.
When my kinsman and I came in, we noticed your exploits, and I was afraid you might ask him to dance, so I took him away to keep him safe. And we were deep in confidences all night long after that.
Laura, we thought you liked his new chest hair.
I stayed away from the drink. I don't want chest hair.
You missed.
He has 3 curly, long hair.
Right.
Make awareness rolls.
And I know that Rogan already has a good chest full of hair.
Awareness.
Awareness.
I rolled an Iosauron.
Oh, I got a Tengu. That's
not
good.
good.
So I got a 14 with a Tengu.
Okay.
I rolled a 10. That's pretty good. Since I'm only rolling the feat die.
Sauron.
Tengu. Okay. I've got 17 with a Tengu.
Ella Brimborn, you see the eagles flying high. You think they're circling something that is probably like a camp of orcs. The rest of you hear singing.
What kind
Singing?
of
In the same direction as the orcs?
Same direction as the eagles are. I know 1 goat, 2 goat, 3 goats, and we walk from 1 hill, 2 hill, 3 hills by 1 goat, 2 goat, 3 goats, and we silly goat, we walk through the hills.
What is this?
Goats. I
what does the
love
voices sound
goats. They remind me of my
1
first
goat,
love.
2 goat, 3 goat, silly goat, we walk to
like?
the
No, I didn't sing
hills.
this song. I said, what kind of voices do they sound like?
It sounds like a raspy human voice.
I think there's orcs under those eagles.
But the
There must be
voices
a
are-
whole band of orcs over there. It's the worst singing I've ever heard.
Doesn't sound like orcs singing to me.
Yeah.
Sounds like you at the pub.
It sounds like orcs to me.
All right, let's go investigate because I
orcs.
hate orcs.
You investigate and you see a goat herd, old man with a long beard, tapping on 1 goat, 2 goat, 3 goat, silly goat, and you are a tree, and he kind of like slaps the tree playfully.
All right, he must
Is
have some
walking along,
good
or is he
weed.
just standing there slapping
He's standing
goats
there.
and
He
trees?
seems to be like a shepherd, but
Okay,
he's
a goat herd.
but he's talking. He's singing to the goats and
As
to the
they
and he's
crop grass.
and he's talking to the trees.
So I guess I walk up and use my courtesy to introduce
Perhaps
ourselves.
he had some of the same drink as our
He
friend.
may.
He sees you coming and lights his pipe, and you smell Shire pipeweed.
Shire pipeweed. Ah,
How tall is this?
very
person?
nice.
Friend,
Not
I
very
see.
tall.
I see. My
Hey,
friends believe.
No.
Friend, I am Ella Brimborn. I believe that my friends think we have come from the same school of song.
We might have. I come from singing to goats. Do you sing to goats?
I
Oh,
dated a goat.
He
I've
seems
sang,
like a
I've
goat.
sang to a goat when I rode a goat.
Well, that's the best
This
time
is
to
my
write a
friend
goat writing
Thor.
song. How else would you know what
we
it's
are
like
goat
to write
riders from the north.
to write a goat? How else would you write a goat writing song if you have not ridden a goat? It makes no sense to me. Isn't that true, Elm? Yes, it's very true, brother. All right, the elm agrees. You can't always trust that elm. Sometimes it disagrees just to spite you.
Pipeweed's gotten strong this year, huh?
It's
So,
good pipeweed.
How far away are the eagles from where we're at?
They're directly above.
Directly above. Not good.
This is my friend Sigurd and
I,
my other friend Lorith. What is your name?
I am Ilmud, the goat herd. But some just call me Ilmud.
And these are your
That's
goats.
much easier to remember.
These are my
Yeah,
goats.
Mud.
1 goat, 2 goat, 3 goat, and this is silly goat. You can tell because of the way he waves his tail. It's
What
quite
about-
silly.
What about the eagles up there? Do you know them? Are they your friends as well?
They watch out for me. They keep me safe.
Interesting.
They said apparently I need to be safe is what they said. What the man with the hat says.
The man with the
The man with the hat who comes to visit me.
What color is his hat?
Gandalf?
It's gray. It might be Gandalf. It might be Gregory. I don't know.
Gregory
Gregory.
Gandalf. Very good.
Wait,
Did you
this
notice
the guy
any
with the
orcs
hat?
around? Because there are several eagles above us.
well,
Yes, he says I'm an important person and need to be protected. So when there are Vigletings around, or
Viglitings?
Vigletings, or
What are Viglitings?
Vigletings are monstrous people. They come on charge across the Bjorning's prop line and try to put us in slavery.
Well, that's not good.
I'm not going to let them take my goats.
I understand.
My goats are to be free.
Goats are best to be free.
Do you
That
milk
is
them?
true.
Yes, I do.
Do you eat the milk?
I drink the milk.
Do you make it into cheese?
Sometimes when I feel like having cheese.
Then how free are your goats, really?
They have the fresh air. They have that sassy elm right there. They have me singing to them.
Oh, truly.
So
that's
how
all
did you
anyone
come
could
by
want
the
from life.
Shire pipeweed that you're smoking there? It smells lovely.
Oh, I like good, like smoking good. Man with the hat. He asks me questions, and then when I answer the questions, he gives me the pipeweed.
It is that guy.
How long ago was your encounter with the man with the hat?
I haven't seen him in 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
He was concerned
months.
about things going east and things coming out of the forest and things coming down from the mountains. I told him what I saw, which is all that I can know, and he gave me some pipeweed.
You stole this character from Douglas Adams, and now you're putting him in Tolkien. What kind of a mashup is that?
He's actually in the book.
But you're playing him like the Douglas Adams character. Of course you are.
Yeah.
So don't tell me you didn't steal it. You took a perfectly normal Tolkien-esque character and you turned him.
It says he talks to the trees and the goats and sings in his own strange language to himself as
Yeah,
he
but doesn't
watches
say,
the herds.
That's all I could know.
Yeah,
You're putting the Douglas-esque.
the best DMs
Douglas-esque,
steal from
the
from others like all the time.
Can I search for any signs of orcs that may have come through or anything like that?
Can I search for signs of
If there
this
were
guy's
orcs-
had a lobotomy?
I'm sure Silly Goat would have killed them all. He's quite wily.
You got a
Look
silly
at that
goat?
wily goat.
I thought it was 1 goat, 2 goat.
There is
Number
1
silly
goat, 2
goat.
goat, 3 goat, silly goat.
Ah, okay. 4th one, silly goat.
So what did you tell the man with the hat?
He must feel out of place.
I told him that there's been a weirdness going on. A lot more of those little green guys coming down out of the mountains.
Green guys?
Green guys, and looking to the east. And then a lot of them passing through and disappearing into the forest. As if they were curious about something about going east or about to happen to the east.
Have you seen any squirrels lately?
Of course I've seen squirrels. What is wrong with you? Look where I live. There are plenty of squirrels around. But they don't sing.
Well, I've known one that sings.
And perhaps you can convince them to sing with me.
Probably not.
That's sad.
They're not
So,
fair.
I'm not saying that you're not, but what is it that makes you such an important person that merits the protection of the Eagles?
I'm not. I don't think I am important. It's the man in the hat who says I am.
Oh, I thought you said that you were very important, and I
According
believe
to
you
the
are.
man in the hat.
Where do you
Gotcha.
come from, stranger?
I've always lived around here in these parts. It's beautiful grazing land. I come from a long line of goat herders.
Do you have any children? Do you have a wife?
Unfortunately, I do not.
So your line is about to end.
No, I have my goats.
And the
They
elm.
will live on after me.
Give up.
They'll look on after each other. I've trained them well.
Well, I believe you have.
And Brimborn, can you somehow make your way into a tree and maybe try and call to the eagles to see if you can speak with the eagles?
Yeah, I can try to do the speakers, yeah.
I would climb a tree, but I'm not so good.
You gonna climb Sassy Elm?
Yeah, I'll talk to Sassy Elm. I'll use my speaker's power and try to talk to Sassy Elm and see if the Sassy Elm can rustle its leaves and talk to the eagles above and ask them why they're here. Usually I have to roll something like it would be either like a riddle or lore. It like depends on what you're trying to, get information that makes sense. So I guess it would be a riddle because we don't know why
definitely. This whole situation
why the eagles are up
screams
there.
riddle.
It's only a 10.
You want to use a point of hope?
Sure.
Well, hello, Ella Brimborn.
Hello, Sassy Elm. What's going on?
Well, I'm enjoying some of this smoke from Ilmud, and I wish he would learn another song. He only knows the one, it seems. Makes me want to shed my leaves.
Do your roots grow deep?
They grow very deep.
And do your branches reach high into the sky?
Yes, they do.
Do you see the eagles up there?
Of course, they're here quite often.
Would you do me a favor and ask them why they are here? Unless you know yourself.
They are here because the wizard wills it to be so.
Ah.
There is something that Ilmud has a ability, the wizard believes, in seeing further than most people can, and understanding the minds of people from being able to look into their eyes. He is also in a position where he can see goblins coming down from the mountains and Vigladings trying to cross into Bjorning lands. So whether he knows it or not, he has quite a deep level of insight.
Is this the eagle speaking to?
This is the tree.
The tree. Okay. Now we're talking to the trees. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know we were there yet. Okay. I'm ready.
Thank you. Is there anything we can do for you?
Please teach him another song.
I will.
One goat, two goat, three goat, silly goat.
I'll have to see if I can find something that...
Keep it simple. Make it about the tree. Everybody loves to hear themselves sung to. Almost everybody. That's funny.
And
So
you guys, you can
tell us about the tree conversation, Elabrimba?
Yes, I tell you about the tree conversation.
Ah.
I guess I try to teach him the song of the. The whiskey drinking bear song is probably right up his alley.
Yeah, absolutely.
He loves the whiskey drinking bear song, and he's singing it over and over and over.
And the tree commits suicide later that year by leaning into a fire.
So we asked Ilmud if he has seen any goblins recently. What's the most recent?
About 2 weeks ago, there was a couple hundred goblins that came down. They left me alone. They left my goats alone. And they crossed into the forest.
Wow, they left your
Headed
goats.
east again?
Headed east.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they were being driven, as if they were being called.
And again towards the Bjornings?
No, they were going east into the forest. The Bjornings are to the north.
Okay.
The Bjornings didn't respond to the call. However, I think they did, because I think there would have been much more goblins crossing through if the Bjornings hadn't been patrolling the pass where the goblins came down from.
Mm-hmm.
Goblins don't pay tolls, right?
Goblins don't pay tolls. That would be a good song.
Glad I could help.
Thank you.
So have there been travelers from the east coming this way that you've met or spoken with?
There have been a couple of caravans of travelers heading out toward the old ford, but they don't pay much attention to me.
Mm.
They don't seem to like me very much, but that's okay. I've got my goats. I got Sassy Elm. I'm perfectly good.
What else do you need?
Oh, very good.
Pipe weed
Well,
for the man with the hat.
If you're a friend of our friend Gandalf, then you are a friend of ours. Obviously,
Then
he
you are
must
a friend of
hold you
mine.
in great regard.
Then I'm
So-
a friend of your goats.
Can you share any other knowledge you may have about the comings and goings of others through here?
People were moving much faster through the forest, as if they're being driven out by some force in the forest, or something is scaring them in the forest. They come out wanting to get as far away from there as possible.
Would it be the spiders again, or something else, something different?
Could be the spiders. I don't know. They don't talk to me.
Okay.
Do they talk to your goats?
The children do.
Children do like that.
Well, very good. Then I would suggest we carry on, or is there anything we can offer you at
No,
this
I'm
time?
perfectly happy.
Okay. Well, we thank you for your time and your information. It's greatly appreciated.
And as you leave the goat herd behind, singing the song of the whiskey drinking bear, we will bring this session to a close.
Very good.
Very good.